Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk. This is the show where we talk all things Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow. And in today's video we're going to be talking about my predictions for Arrow Season 6 and the rest of the season going forward. As I have been doing all this week, I've been doing my top 5 predictions, and this is the final episode of this series, unless you guys want me to do a Black Lightning video, which based on Twitter you guys actually do, so you could expect a Black Lightning video coming up this weekend. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through my top 5 predictions for what I believe is going to happen for the rest of Season 6 of Arrow, and be sure to tell me yours in the comment section below. But with all that said, let's jump straight into my predictions. My first prediction is that Ricardo Diaz, aka Richard Dragon, aka the Dragon, whatever he's being called on this season of Arrow, he will kill Caden James. Now, Caden James is kind of the main big bad on Arrow, at least at the moment, but I don't feel that will be the case for a while. I feel that Ricardo Diaz is set to be the true big bad of the season, and he's going to prove that when he takes over position of the criminal cabal by killing Caden James. I have a feeling that this will happen around episode 15, as that is a good mid-season point for a big reveal. That was when we got the Prometheus reveal last season. So I feel it will be around episode 15 where Ricardo Diaz wants to resume control over the criminal cabal, and he'll do this by killing Caden James, getting rid of him off the show, which will be a huge thing because does anybody actually like Caden James? I don't. I think he's incredibly boring as a villain, whereas Ricardo Diaz is really interesting. So this will be a great turn for the story. My next prediction is that at some point in this season, but I cannot pinpoint when, Black Siren will turn and help Team Arrow. Now, I don't know if she'll necessarily have the full redemption arc, as I mentioned in my video about this subject, but I definitely do believe she will turn against the criminal cabal and help Team Arrow take them down, because we have seen how conflicted she is throughout her time in the Arrowverse. And I feel that this is only a matter of time, and it's got to happen quite soon. This means that at some point, more likely towards the end of the season, when Team Arrow are kind of down on their luck and they're kind of really failing to take down the criminal cabal, this is when this is when the tides will turn and the tables will turn, and this is when Black Siren actually turns against the cabal and joins Team Arrow to take them down. And this will be the first step onto her redemption, or maybe it'll happen a bit earlier and we'll see her join Team Arrow, who knows, but Black Siren definitely on the good side. My third theory is that perhaps Anatole is going to play as a bit of a double agent. I think this would be an awesome idea because we don't really have a double agent, it seems like, yet, but it would be really cool to have these two opposing teams and to have one of the members of either of the teams actually working for both. And perhaps Anatole actually works with Oliver to get all the information he needs on the Cabal. I think this would be a really cool way to have Anatole be functional in this role, and it'd be really awesome to see. I think this would be a fun role for David Nichol to play as well, because David Nichol is such a good actor and he's so funny on Arrow, so it'd be really cool to give him a fun role like that as Anatole. And also, in the mid-season premiere, we do see in the synopsis that Oliver turns to an unlikely ally. Now, we don't know who this is yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be either Anatole or it could be Black Siren. But if it is Anatole, this could be him kind of gaining his trust back again, and then this is when the double agent thing comes into play, which would be awesome. My penultimate theory is that Roy and Thea will run off together. Now, of course, we do know that Roy Harper is finally returning to Arrow this season, but only for around 3 episodes. But of course, Roy is pretty famous on Arrow for being Oliver's first sidekick in the form of Arsenal. Well, unless you count Sarah Lance, but yeah. He was his first true sidekick. He was the Red Arrow, and he's finally coming back to the show in episode 15. Now, Roy Harper is also famous for being the love interest for Thea Queen. Now, I feel that if Roy is going to come back for episode 15 and he's going to be around for his little arc, around 3 episodes, this is the perfect opportunity to write both Roy and Thea off the show, because Roy cannot be the character who just keeps coming back every season for a couple episodes, because it will kind of become a joke eventually, and Thea has not had a good story to tell since season 3. So, this is the perfect opportunity to write both characters off the show for good, and they can be gone. My final theory is a pretty big one, and it's that Wild Dogg, aka Renee Ramirez, is going to die this season. I feel that a main member of Team Arrow has to die, considering how they really copped out in Season 5 with the Leon Yu explosion. And to make up for that, I feel that one of the main Team Arrow members is going to have to take a hit this season. Otherwise, we haven't had a proper good death on Arrow since Laurel's death, so we need one. So why Renee? Well, I think it's going to be Renee just because of everything that's gone on with him this season. Obviously, in the mid-season finale, you find out he actually betrayed Oliver and ratted him out to the FBI. Well, he didn't do it by choice. Obviously, the FBI were threatening his daughter, so obviously anybody would do what he did in that position. But of course, this broke Oliver and Renee's trust, and this is how everything happened. This is how the fallout happened, and that led to Dinah and Curtis also leaving the team. So because Oliver does not trust Renee whatsoever, I feel that towards the end of the season, he is going to come back and, Oliver is going to say, look, Renee, we need to take down these guys. I don't trust you, but I need you right now. And in this big final battle that's going to go down against Team Arrow and the Criminal Cabal, Wild Dogg is going to take a shot for Oliver. Oliver is going to be in severe danger, and Wild Dogg is going to be the one to die and actually save Oliver's life, therefore bringing that trust full circle. I think this would also be a really good way to bring Renee as a character full circle, like his character arc, because he started out in Season 5 as an extreme stereotype, and then he eventually developed. The more you learn about his backstory, the more he actually developed into a full-fledged character, and in Season 6, I've really, really enjoyed him. So to see him go through that entire transition, to go through that character arc, and then to have a great grand death at the end of it, saving our main hero, that would be the perfect way to bring Renee full circle as a character for me. So there you have it. They were my top 5 predictions for the rest of Arrow Season 6. Be sure to tell me your top 5 predictions in the comment section below, and just any other thoughts you have regarding Arrow Season 6. I want to see what people's kind of overall feel is of this season, because I think it's been very up and down, and it seems to be quite mixed. So be sure to tell me your thoughts on what your predictions are, and also your thoughts on Arrow Season 6 in general. And make sure that you share this video with anybody and everyone you know who loves DC TV, and get them to join the community.